Hey, you want to build better? This is my general process laid out step by step. Do keep in mind, this is just what works for me. There are times in which I do things in different orders. That's okay. You may have a completely different process, and that is fine. Art doesn't have one single process. I stole
was inspired by
BWO for this way of showing a building process. I'll put his channel down in the description, and I heavily suggest you watch him. He is hands down pretty much the best builder on YouTube, period. Step 1. The idea. Here, you figure out the style, either using references from life or the internet, or just as you go. For this example, I decided it was going to be a bit of a smaller, medium-sized house with a tower near the back of it. And the style is going to be more of a Tudor-style house because I really like that kind of house, and I have a lot of practice in it. Step 2. Wool base. Here you lay out a color coordinated base of what the build is going to look like, get the general shape in. Here I chose big long rectangle here, 7 by 11 I think. 11 or 13, I'm probably stupid. And then 7 by something in red as the base of the build. Here in yellow I marked out the tower and where that's going to go, and a little bit right here in orange for the eventual chimney. I forgot what a chimney was called. Yay. Step 3. Base height. Here you get the basic shape of the base layer in place. It's good to think of where the roof line is also going to land here. Here I raised up the red base up to 6 on both segments, and the tower up to 10, because I want the tower to be poking out a little bit more. I have not yet put the chimney up, that's later. Step 4. Roof shape. Now is where you actually get the shape of the roof on the build. Here I went for, on this section, having a little jut out here, and it being a gable roof. And then on this section, having a hip roof. Architects are going to be really happy about that. I raised up the tower a little bit more because I realized it was too short. And that's okay, you can go on like that. I added the base shape of the chimney as well, and started dividing up where I want each type of block to go. Step 5. Choose your palette. Here I usually choose one palette for each part of the house. For the base I chose various stone textures. For the first floor, a dark oak trim with stripped oak and planks and stripped birch and planks. For the chimney, I decided to do something that I haven't done much of. Mud bricks, brown mushroom, packed mud, and jungle planks, because it has a nice kind of flow to it. And have a pot as the base of the chimney. And for the roof, I wanted the edge to be of deep slate. I was split between dark oak and gray concrete and gray wool for the main color for the roof. I eventually decided on the grays because the wood would blend too much with the rest of the build and just muddy it up. My favorite palette has to be on the tower, or yellow, where it goes moss to mossy cobble to cobble to diorite and to calcite, with support in mossy stone bricks, and polished diorite. I just think it blends very well into each other and creates a very appealing wall. Now's a good time to mention I do have a texture pack enabled from Vanilla Tweaks that makes grass, water, leaves, flowers, etc. Wimbly, and also another texture pack from the same site that makes it so that light sources are generally brighter and more warm. I like them. I like having them. It just makes things a bit more alive, you know? Also, when choosing a palette for a base, remember, that's embarrassing. Don't. Step 6. Color by number. Here you start filling in the wool structure that you made before with the colors or blocks that you marked out with different colors of wool and the palette. Here, for some reason, I didn't do the roof until the next stage, but you could do it that way, or it really doesn't matter. Also poked out where the door will be, because that will be useful later on. Most of the time I texture as I fill in the structure, because it just feels easier to me. Sometimes I'll do some afterwards, but for the most part, I place it as it is. In this phase, usually I also mark out very loosely where the floors and ceilings of each floor are going to be. Not anything too specific or anything, just general, this is where ceiling. Step 7. More interior planning. This is where I usually put a little bit more thought into the shape of the interior, such as where doors are going to go, general walls, the purpose of each room, basically where the walls and doors are going to go before any of the actual decoration of the interior. And a big part of interior is windows. Placement of windows coincides with this step. In here, a window right by the fireplace, a window looking back here, and a big glass window looking off the side here. Just making sure that it looks nice. Another thing that I like to add to windows is these that act like shutters, and also these little overhang bits to like shield it from rain or whatever. Step 8. Detail. Now this is where the build really comes to life. This is by far the most time intensive step of the process. There's just a lot that one could add to a build to make it a lot more appealing, a lot more alive. In short, you look around the build, see if there's any spot that needs more detail, and just put little bits and pieces where it makes sense for that thing to go. As you can see, I really like putting a lot of detail around my build. Of course, the amount of detail is up to you. This is just how I do it. This step is also where I do the interior and fill it out with whatever makes sense with that area. In here, as I said before, is a kitchen, so there's going to be like furnaces, some storage, things that look like cooking appliances. The fireplace goes in here, a little carpet here, just things that would look nice in here. This is more of a main hall per se, with some more storage littered about. Some bookshelves here, table made out of mangrove with some chairs, and a big rug in the middle, potted plant here, and a door out back. An entrance to the tower staircase with a little bit more storage. A window poking out there. Going up to this room here, I'm not exactly sure what to call it. Some more bookshelves, more storage. Even the pot is storage, technically speaking. Going into a bedroom with yet even more storage. A little bit of a plant. Crafting table up there for some reason, a bed. And in here, a fully functional enchanting setup. And following the staircase up a little bit, yeah. Reach this top little area here with a banner and some more potted plant. On the exterior, the main thing that I added was a lot more foliage, especially on the roof. I really like plants on the roof. It just adds a nice lively touch. Added a planter box here, so there's a little bit of spill out from there. Did some glow lichen to light it up a little bit. Add some moss and warp roots for a little pop of color in there. And around, I added these banners just around the build. Added these note blocks underneath the overhang. It was like a decorative wood just on this section of the build. Added some more glow lichen at the base, and a lot more grass and plants just around. A lot of leaves bunched up here at the base of the tower. Some here as well. Some stacked up logs outside of back entrance. A little bit of wheat chilling here, just as a little bit of a blending of colors. I inset this window a little bit so that I can add a porch flower there, and I did the same thing on this side except with a dark oak sapling. I did some more planter boxes just out here, beetroot, some cherry leaves. Back here, some more growth. I added this whole like workbench setup for even more storage to just like get out the sun and elements. Got an anvil out here. Some more of those note blocks that I was talking about. And one of my favorite additions is this little hanging bit of banners. It just adds a nice little swoop to this side. I'm not exactly sure if swoop describes it pretty well. It just adds a little bit more something. It's really what this whole step is going for. Just making things feel more lived in, making it so that it feels like a house that's been there for a good bit. Now that's my building process. Hopefully it will help you build even better things than this. Just remember, the most important thing is practice. Bye.